Alright, we're back. This time I'm going to record. So, I checked the footage, and yes. Hold on. So, upon checking the footage, I did in fact roll a natural 1. So, I have a shield. That means I parry. And let's go ahead and see exactly how parry works. Pretty sure it just totally negates that entire exchange. But I'm still on the defensive, which is fine. Now I have an advantage. I shouldn't get hit. Hopefully I won't get hit. We'll just find the parry rule, if I can. Which I can't, for some reason. Here we go. Go to the equipment here. Come on. Here we go, equipment. Parry rule, 42. Right here in the exchange. Alright. Sometimes figure, blah, 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 parrying combat benefit, only available to characters with a weapon or item. Shield does it. If such character rolls a natural 1 when defending in melee combat, they deflect the blow, avoiding all effects of being hit, such as damage, stun, or other effects such as poison. So, we don't, I don't even think we get pushed, so we have to actually move back. So, we'll move that inch back again. And we actually don't get pushed. We just deflect the blow. Alright, last exchange. Thought I was going to have an advantage. I will not. Last exchange. We're on the defensive. And we got a 6. We're good. That fight's over. Okay. Next up we have Asmond going on initiative 2. He will move in, charge this other guy here. And he will get to reroll. So no advantage. We're all kind of meeting up here. Yeah, we should be good. So shouldn't be any advantages. So I get a +1 versus a 0, plus I charge, so I get to reroll if I wish. So, Asmond. Oops, I better roll high. I rolled not very high at all. But I get to reroll, so I will do such. Bouncing off. And the reroll proved to be a 6, so that's a hit. We're going to push him back. We have to push him back. Let's see what the wound is before we follow up. So we hit him. We need to break his armor of 1. We need a 2 or better. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're not following up. Combat is over. Now we go to the lizard folk. Let's start right here. Actually, we'll do these guys first. I don't think I moved them last turn. Is this turn 4? So they should have moved here. Should have moved here. So they've arrived. This guy can go down to here. These guys can just get on the other side. So they haven't quite arrived. They'll arrive next turn. But they would have arrived last turn. Goes here. Knocking stuff all over. Alright, so I will roll for them first. They are now heading towards objective marker 2, which is the way they were just coming. So basically, I'm going to tuck in right there. And then their turn will be to move 4 inches to here. So on the next turn, this group will roll on the next turn. They're heading towards objective marker 2, which is where the other group came from. Over to here. Let's go ahead and do the archer first. The archer will go for... These guys should have moved apart a little. Archer will go for Asmond, who's closer. Needs a 3 to hit. Hit with a 4. Needs a 4 to wound. Needs a... It's considered armor 2. He has an armor 1, I believe. He has an armor 1. Yes, he does. So he needs a 3 or better to break his armor. which he failed to do. Thank God javelins suck. Thank God. So he failed to break armor. So now, these lizards, either one is going to... The lizards are going, so they're going to get a combat... I'm going to get a combat advantage unless he goes first. He'll go first. So he doesn't get a combat advantage now. So it's 1-on-1. Asmond has a 1, he has a 0. We have the advantage that way. So we tie. Excellent. So we nudge back. There, and then he'll move in. Now I'll have a combat advantage. He has the attacker, and we tie. Nope, I have the advantage. I win, so I become the attacker. Because I have a +1 versus a 0. Now I'm the attacker with a +1, and I tie. Push back. Alright, now our slow actions. Let's get our mage out here finally. He'll move to here. My archer will move a bit. Actually, let's do the archer first. So put my mage back. Ugh. Okay. Move this archer out. Move out. And just nudge out an inch. And now he's got clear shot on that front guy right here. So he will take the shot. Right on him. In the open. But it's over 6, so he's going to need a 5 or better. He has no combat bonus. 5 or better. Hits with a 6. Now he needs a 2 or better to break armor. Breaks armor with a 6. Oh my gosh. So, toughness is a 4, so we need a 5 or better to knock him out. Which he rolls. Who is this? That is, I think I used a silver tree leaf to keep him alive. That's Chester Cook right there. Chester Cook takes down the first casualty of the game. We're going to go ahead and roll morale at the end. Not yet. So Chester Cook takes down the first guy. Let's get a picture of that. Hey. Nope. Let me just take it from here. There we go. Alright, Chester Cook with the first casualty. Alright. We were never within 6 inches of melee. Okay. Uh-oh. My mic's not plugged in, but how am I being heard? What mic am I reverting to? It's strange. What mic is picking me up right now? My mic's not plugged in. What on earth mic? This is strange. Here's my thing. Hold the phone. How do I... Allows access to the microphone on this device. Yeah, which microphone am I using? So it wasn't plugged in, it was working. Is there another microphone somewhere? Alright. I gotta sort this out. This is like confusing me greatly. Do I have a different microphone plugged in the back? I might. Huh. Very strange. I think there's a mic on the floor that I've got plugged in. that's picking up my... That's probably why I sound far away. I was wondering why this mic wasn't working. Is there a mic back here? I'm not seeing one. Could be this guy. No, he's not even plugged in. Well, I don't think I have a mic plugged in back here. That's strange indeed. I'm getting picked up though, so I got a mic somewhere. Well, anyways. Hey, person who just showed up. How do I sound? Do I sound like I'm getting picked up alright? Is this mic working alright? Before you flee. There we go. Excellent, thank you. Now you may leave. Usually people stick around here for about a minute and a half. Get a little winded. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Copper Frog. Hey, you just subbed to my YouTube channel. Thank you for that. I have subbed to your YouTube channel in return. I'll check out some of your stuff later. Alright, back to the mission. So we just had... yeah, I had a cut in the middle of gameplay because I wasn't sure if I rolled a 1 on the defense with the parry skill. So I had to stop the stream and start it back up again. And I did indeed roll a 1, and it did indeed parry. So, anyways, back to it. We've got one... He's down, so now we've got to do the rest of the turn. So now we're going to move the wizard out. He basically can nudge out of this terrain and get to just outside. And this second archer can nudge forward. So I have to move 1.5 inches to still shoot. I'm in terrain, so I'm moving 3/4 of an inch. Basically. So I can get to about here and still shoot. And I can see him, so I'll shoot at their javeliner. Javelinier. So, and this would be Leon Spencer. Taking a shot needs a 6. He's in the open. Yeah, so I need a 6. Or 5, sorry. I rolled a 4, doesn't matter. And then our leader, fearless leader, Baden, can basically move to right where the other archer was before. Alright, we moved. We got that whole group moved. And we're going to also move 1 inch and oh no, he's got a 5-inch move, cuts it in half to 2.5 inch. No, 6-inch move cuts to 5-inch move for the tight quarters we're in. Which then is 2.5 inches, and I can still shoot. And I'm going to claim cover. Well, let's say that's pretty... If I nudge over this way and back a tad. I'd say that's pretty well in the clear open. So we're going to go ahead and have Eldred take his shot on their javeliner. Even though they're pretty much ineffective, but... And hitting on a 5. That's a big hit. And we're going to go ahead and... break armor on a 2. Not really. I have a lavalier mic on my chest. And the dice tower is on the desk, I'd say 3 feet away. That's basically all I can do right now. Let me see here. Maybe I can get a tray or something. I just really like to use the dice tower. Let me see. Paper plate. Yeah, I need a better... I was musing the other day that I need a better way to roll my mic or roll my dice. The dice towers are a tad loud. Let me see here. Don't forget, I just rolled a 4 to break armor. All right, I will note that and try to fix it. I got a mic coming in the mail in like a week or less. I just ordered it today, actually. It's a desk mount, and it has, I don't know, I'm not savvy on this yet. I just started researching it today. But it's a condenser mic or something, so it's more directional. So it should hopefully tune out some of this dice tower. I can also move it further away. But for now, we're just going to carry on. Alright, so we broke armor on a 4. This is Eldred shooting at the Javeliner. Alright, so broke armor on a 4, so now we need a 5 or better to wound. Or take him out. Anything less is a wound. 5 or better. 1. 1 is actually only a stun, so nothing happens there. Okay. And that is turn 4? Turn 4 done. Moving on to turn number 5. Whoop, nope. We have to roll morale. They did lose 1. So morale for these guys, they're considered brave, so they're only going to another one's only going to flee on a natty 1. Which bounced out of the thing. We got to do it again. And we got a 3, so nobody else is leaving. So just this one. So nice. First casualty, and it wasn't us. Next turn, we have got initiative roll. Let's see if I can roll them quicker. Let's see here. And one more coming down. We rolled 2 1s and 2 2s. That's a hell of a roll. So we have Baden has an agility of 2. And Asmond, the Barbarian, has an agility of 2 as well. So they'll get the 2s. We'll have our archer, let me use my pointer, we'll have this archer get a 1 and Chester get a 1 as well. We'll have the archer get a 1 and we'll have my wizard get a 1. And then they'll go in the slow phase. So first we're going to have our 1s go. So he can move 2.5 inches forward. About there. He's going to take a shot, another shot, see if we can break. So I gave my Fey-Blooded an actual agility roll, so he doesn't get to re-roll it, because he's actually going to go in the quick phase. So we are looking for, in the open, this is supposed to be here, technically. But I still have clear line of sight there. In the open, I need a 5. We failed. That is them. Now we're going to have my wizard go, who is going to cast shield on nobody. Can't see anybody. So we'll actually have... I already kind of did it. I actually haven't done anything yet. We'll have this archer go next. That is Chester. Chester will go next and shoot at their archer. In the open, needs a 5 as well. Rolled a 4, so that's a miss. Next, we are going with Asmond is going to get within an inch. We're going to move this again so we can see. We're going to get just within an inch so we don't get a combat advantage to the enemy. And Asmond is a Duskling and he charged. So he gets to reroll his dice. Again, we are white, they are black. We have a +1 to their +0, and we get to reroll. Our +1 is good enough. We do not need to reroll. So we beat him. We're going to nudge him back an inch. And roll a 2 or better to break. I forgot he has a bastard sword. He gets +1 to his wound. 2 or better to break. We finally broke armor. Asmond hit twice already, and he couldn't break armor. Now they have a toughness of 4, but we get a +1 because it's a bastard sword. We're going to follow up. A +1 because it's a bastard sword. So we're looking for a 4 or better to knock him out. That's a 2, but he does get a wound. That was only the second exchange, but now they get a combat bonus. So now but he's stunned, so we're going to go first no matter what. Do they get any, I don't think they get any penalties. Yeah, they don't get any penalties for being stunned, other than they just don't go first. And their combat advantage makes us even, so we're white, they're black. We rolled a 6 unless I bump it. Come on, go down the chute. I did not. So we beat him again. We'll nudge him back one more time. Asmond, being a barbarian. And we need a 2 or better to break armor, which we did. And a 4 or better to knock him out. Anything but a 1 will knock him out. We got a 5. He's out. So let's go ahead and drop him. Way to go, Asmond. This is good. My first camp raid I got demolished right away. So far, we're doing pretty good here, actually. We're doing extremely good here. So let's go ahead and take a picture of that. Asmond the Barbarian. Come on, focus. I should put it on manual focus. Okay. So Asmond takes his first casualty. Let's go ahead and move him. Actually, we'll leave him on the board so I don't have any morales to roll. Next is Godric, also going on initiative 1. Wait a minute. Nope. Godric is not going on this initiative. He went on a 2. He went on a 1. He went on a 1. He goes on a 2. So Baden can go. Basically, he can just nudge over to here. Godric can't go yet. Almost cheated. Alright, that was quick actions. So moving on to slow actions. So we'll start here. Definitely going to start here. I guess he'll move away. I don't see... I mean, that would be what I would do. And definitely throw a javelin at Asmond. Going to need a 3 to hit. And hit with a 3. You're going to need a 3 to break armor. He's got leather, and it's -1 for javelins. So 3 to break armor, and we failed to break armor. Phew! Alright, that's that. Now we go on to our slow actions. We're going to move our wizard forward. I'm just going to move him out of the way for a second. Move our wizard forward 3. I'm going to move him forward. His little quarter inch he's going to go. Just to get out of the terrain. I've already moved him. Just keep that in mind. Alright, now we're moving the wizard forward. He's got 4 spells. Fog, Heal, Meekness, Shield, and Spellbreaker. So we don't really have anything too offensive other than Meekness. And that doesn't do us any good here. So he'll just go ahead and he'll just move forward, I guess. He'll move out of the way of the archer. And the archer will move and take a shot. Oh, wait, no. All I did was take their turn. There we go. So we actually have to determine where these guys are going. So we know this group, unaware group, is heading towards Objective 2, which is over here. So they're going to bop into this little chamber, heading towards Objective 2. They are at their objective they were moving towards, so they need to roll another random objective to see where they're going. So the group in the middle is going to this -1. Objective number 0, which is the one that's way in the back here that is not marked. Objective 0. So they're heading out of our hair. Good. That's good. So they move 4 inches to about here. And then whole group will move. Good. That clears the way. As soon as we get rid of this guy, we can explore this marker, and maybe that marker before we start getting in trouble again. Fantastic. Well, that was them. This archer went, or javelineer, and those 2 groups went. Moving on to our slow phase, we've already moved the wizard. I should have did it out of turn, but wizard already took the action. Archer has moved out and is taking a shot. Not within 6, so it's going to need a 5. Looking for a 5. Roll a 4. We'll move this archer. He moves 2.5 and still shoots normal. Also needs... Oh, is he within 6? Is within 6. So we need a 3. Within 6. Oh, no, wait a minute. He moves here. He hasn't moved yet. Because this is here. He's going to have to move through terrain. So he can't actually see him. I'm going to move back 2.5. And move 2.5 directly this way. I can see, but they're going to get cover. So I need a natty 6 to hit that lizard folk, or oldest kin. Looking for a natty 6. Roll a 4. That's a miss. Now Godric can basically, he can go around this terrain and get to about here, just on the other side. That's it there. And that is the turn. There we go. Can't quite take this javeliner down. But we are now going to roll morale. We got one oldest kin down. That's a roll of a 1. 1 dice, we need a 1 to get rid of another. It's on the 1 for a second. So no more morale. I have yet to get a morale fail on the enemy. Alright. And this is bad too because they're brave, so. Next turn. Initiative. We're doing good so far. This is a quest too, so if I can find those ancient writings and just get out of here, that'd be great. I'd also like to hold the field, though. I think I'll try to hold the field. So initiative rolls. We've got a 1 and a 2. So we'll put the 1 on Asmond, because he's rocking. Can he make it? He can go 3 inches, so they are, I'd say they're just over 4. Asmond is not going to be able to make it. No. I'd say, let me try to get down there. I don't know. I'd say that's, he goes in a straight line. I'd say it's just out. So we will start, we put the 2, yeah, the 2's going to go on Asmond no matter what. So we'll put the 2 on Asmond. We'll move within 3. We're still outside an inch. And we'll put the 1 on Godric. But before I put the 1 on Godric, I gotta see if the Feyblood gets to go in the quick phase. So I put a fail on the Feyblood. Now I roll a 1 and they get to go in the quick phase. So no. Right, so now it's Godric. So I only get the 2 on the quick phase. Godric's within, but Asmond is outside. So Asmond will not provide a combat bonus. So it's even, but we're at least on the offensive. So look for high roll here. And we did it with a 6 versus their 2. We're going to nudge back an inch. We're going to step up. And we're going to go ahead and roll break armor on a 2. We did. Now we have an armor of 1. And wound on a 5 or better to knock him out. Oh, we get a 6. Godric taking him down. This was cleared last turn. Alright, Godric takes him down. Way to go. Yeah, now we're doing good. Let's get that picture. If I can get out of my own light source here. Okay, and that was our quick going on to theirs. They're just going to be moving towards their objectives until they get there. Here. You're going towards number 0, which is over here, to about there. Apparently there isn't much of an echo in these caverns. Alright, so those 2 went, so now doesn't really matter. We're going to send, he's the fastest, so we'll send this one 6 inches to about here, or 5 inches, this is -1. We're going to send you to check out both of those, I think. Baden will move 3 to about here. The whole company will go that way. Just in a conga line here. That's it. Enemy morale. On a 1, somebody flees. Oh, somebody flees. I think they say closest to a battlefield edge, so that's an exit over there. I don't know why. I don't know why they'd flee. Because they're unaware. Let me make sure unaware. I don't know, maybe unaware's... Because why would they flee? They're not aware that we're even here. I'm going to house rule that and say they're not fleeing. Only aware members will flee, so we're not letting them flee. That doesn't make any sense. Even if it's the rule, it doesn't make any sense. So nobody's fleeing, even though I rolled the stupid fail. I'm going to walk it back and say nobody's gone anywhere. But we did get rid of that group of 3. Alright, we're going back to initiative. Let's see if we can get all 7 in one go here. Good. We got one of our guys is going first. We'll have it be our archer over here who's going to go for that objective. Let me make sure. So I move 5 and then I activate the marker. So that's what I'll do. Move 5 and should be just about in base contact of marker number 1. And we'll go ahead and explore that exploration marker. I think if I'm within 3 inches, it becomes... Yeah, I think it's within 3 inches the exploration marker shows up. So I'll nudge back to just within... Let me read that. Let's see... Yeah, within 3 inches in line of sight. You reveal the mark and see what it is. So he'll step it back to just within 3 inches in case this is like an enemy right there. Okay, we're exploring marker number 1. So we roll percentiles on the site finds table. And it could be a number of things. Let's go ahead and go. Oopsie-daisy. We got a 41. 41 is something hidden. A warband member takes an interact action, may make an scout test to search. Alright, so I gotta search that. A success locates a hidden stash. Failure means unable to find anything, and a double 1 means it's a trap. Okay, so this could possibly be treasure if I can find it. If I fail, it's nothing. If I roll double 1s, it's going to be a trap. So he actually gets a +1 on scouting because of his elven cloak. So I'll probably send Asmond back to deal with that. Alright, so that was his turn. Going on to their turn. They're going to move towards their objectives, so they'll get to their objective this turn. This group. So they'll roll next turn to see what objective they're going towards. And they're going to here. Alright, so now Baden can get within 3 of that objective marker, and he will do so. Now we're rolling on objective number 4 right there. Let's see what this one is. We rolled a 25. It is an item. Make a loot roll. First loot roll of my whole entire campaign. I think I can use the item right away if I find something. If I have space for it, I forget how that works. Loot, loot, loot. Here's the loot table. Roll for loot. Page 96. Alright, let's see. Okay, loot. Here we go. Any valuables get +1 to their, lost a dice over here. Any valuables get +1 to their value because they are oldest kin. Yeah, thank you. Congrats. Yeah, first loot roll. This is my first loot roll of the entire edition. Of 3rd edition. I haven't even looked at these tables yet, so they're definitely different, I think, but I briefly flipped through them for the review I did, but I didn't really read any of them. But anyways, let's see what we get. Got a 39. That is armor. Armor is always good. Unless it's leather, then that's not so good. I mean, I guess leather is better than nothing. I can put it on my jamokes I have. Alright, armor sub-table. Let's see what we get. Well, it's a 60 unless I knock it. 69. That is full armor. Hot diggity dog. So, I assume, what happens to loot you get that you can't hold? Can I put full armor on right now? How does that work? Let me read. Does it say it in the loot section? Some scenarios, enemies, situations, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get the loot now. I assume it would just go in my stash for the moment. That's what makes the most sense to me. I don't think anybody's putting on full armor in the middle of a battle. It would be nice to put the full armor on that I just found. But I'm not seeing... I can't spend 20 minutes looking this rule up. So we're going to say I have it. It's going in my stash. Full suit of full armor. write a note on my little notepad, like Blue's Clues. I'll draw a little picture of full armor and greaves, boots, just like in Blue's Clues, and a helmet. There we go. So full armor. Alright. Good job, Ben. That actually will... I'll leave that there. I need to mark that I have discovered the full armor there. So we're going to put that wound dice on it. Because they can still travel towards that objective. And if an unaware group travels to an objective that's been discovered, they've now become aware. They realize that people are here. So marked. Full armor is an excellent first loot item. That is an excellent first loot item. That is going on Baden for sure. Alright, so we got full armor. I just want to read up how close I have to be to my decipher scripts. I need to be contact. Yeah, I have to be in contact with the script to decipher. So that was Baden, and the rest of the crew will just conga line right in. And I think these guys have yet to go. I'm going to send Asmond back here 3 inches. This almost effectively puts him out of the fight, but I'll hold up and send him. I'll hold the crew up. So it's looking like this is like you got to go. There's a choke point here. This whole half of the board you can only get to through here. So I can hold this hallway. Basically, I can hold here, and they can't get to me. So I can hold here and get these guys up, and they can all come at me from that. And I can actually only take 3 hits at a time, maybe 4. So, bit of a choke point. We'll have to use it if we need it. That was turn 5, maybe 6. Kind of lost track. Doesn't matter too much. But we'll go ahead and roll initiative for the next turn. So pretty good so far. We might find another loot over here on this objective that they're about to search. So next, we've got 2 2s and 2 1s. We will put the 2 on Asmond and the 2 on Baden, and the 1 on Godric and Eldred in the back here. So we'll move Godric and Eldred now. Moving up to here. Eldred moves 5 inches up to here. Asmond will move into contact. And we'll take the action to see if we can search. So he does have an elven cloak, or ranger cloak, not an elven cloak. So I do get a +1 to scouting. The target number, I believe, is an 8. So I'm looking for a 7 or better. If it's double 1s, it's a trap. And if it's a fail, it just goes away. And if I roll a 7 or better, it's another loot roll. So, boxcars. Damn, we're rolling hot fire right now. So, we're gonna go ahead and make another loot roll. So Asmond, go ahead and mark that marker off. And another second loot roll right off the bat. Loving it. Another loot roll. Get that loot. Give me another suit of full armor. Let's get the whole group in full armor this on campaign turn like 5. Alright. Next loot roll. We got a 74, which is tools. Yeah. And let's see here. Tools table. We should get some good stuff. We don't have any of this other than the Ranger's Cloak. So. Alright, tools. We rolled a 91, which is Thieves' Tools. So we've got Thieves' Tools. How do I Blue's Clues draw Thieves' Tools? Let's go. Pick. We got a lever bar. Let's go Fallout. Screwdriver. There we go. I don't know what that means. Alright. So we got Thieves' Tools and full armor for loot so far. That was Asmond. That was Eldred, Godred, and Baden. Baden goes next. 3 inches to just about here. Now, there go. We'll get them. Let's see. Yeah, let's actually get ahead. So, man, I gotta fix this. I gotta, like, twist it and tighten it. There we go. And then tighten this. No, shouldn't much too bad. Alright. 4 inches will bring them almost into contact. I'm gonna say contact, that's close enough. It'd be kind of cheesy if I made them take another turn getting there. They, however, will roll for their next objective they're moving towards. And they're going towards objective number 3. I subtract 1 from that. Objective 3 is right here. So they're going to head back across this open area. So as long as we stay out of 8 inches, they'll just walk right by. So 8 inches is this little divot right there. So if we stay away from them, they'll walk right by, and we can try to scoop up those objectives too. Alright, moving on. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna retroactively move him back 5 inches. Retroactive. I want him to go towards that instead. He'll go 5 inches that way. He's faster, so he can get to there and then back quicker. Alright. And then they did their turns, so we'll do our... move this out of the way. Conga line in. Okay. Put that back. Okay. Alright, that was turn number 7, we'll say. Next, initiative roll. We've got 3 2s and a 1, so we got 2 2s and a 1, basically. So we have Asmond. We'll go ahead and start making his way back. The 1 will go on Eldred to about there. And then, so he'll get there next turn and be able to take an action. And then the other 2 will be Godric. Or Baden, sorry. Baden. Then we move... this crew will start making their way across this field here, heading towards objective 3. Move that out of the way. Okay. And there's these guys are on wire still. They need to roll for where they're heading to next. So the lizard folk up at the back of the board there. Drop the dice when I need that dice. Where did it go? Well, I'll just get another one. Oh, there it is. Knocking stuff over. Right there? No, right there. There it is. Alright. They need to roll and see where they're heading to next. So, the lizard folk in the back are going to objective. 6 minus 1 is 5, which is this objective right where my finger is pointing right there. Well, they'll move 4 inches that way. Okay. So they're still not heading towards us either. Alright. Slow. Slow actions. On the line in. Inches about there. Asmond to about there. Okay. He already went. Initiative. Turn 8-ish. And I dropped one out of the dice. We've got 2 1s and 2 2s. The other 2 is useless. So we'll give a 1 on to... where's my pointer? Eldred gets a 1, and he'll take his turn now. Eldred gets a 1, Asmond gets a 2, Baden gets a 2, and Godric gets a 1. So we'll move Godric up first. Gets into here. Asmond as well. We'll get to somewhere in there. Baden. Baden will go first. Baden will move in contact with the marker. No. Baden will not move in contact. He'll go for Eldred will go first. Yeah, Eldred will go first. And he moves in contact with the marker, which he had just enough move to do. And if I roll a 1 or lower, that is the script, the stone with the script on it. It is not. So I will remove it. It is no longer in play. Put it over with my casualties on that side of the board just so I can keep track of it. So we got one marker. Those don't have any effect in the game, other than I need to decipher them. Marker 1. So that was that. Now we want Baden to go, because I want him to hopefully maybe discover it. Baden goes. So now I need a 2 or lower. 2 or lower. And we got it. There's our script. So Baden moved into it. I can remove all the other stones, because I found it on the second marker. Okay. There's all the other stones gone. Now technically, if I decipher this, we can flee off the edge and we win. But there is a lot. I might have to do that for time's sake, but there is a lot of stuff, a lot more loot I could find here. So we'll see. Okay. And let's go ahead and he needs, I think he has to take an action. I don't think he gets to, well, that was his move. He can take an action now, yeah. Let's read the campaign, or quest, decipher script. It's an action for sure. To decipher them requires an action. I have an action because all I did was move. A 9+ scholar test. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the star of the story and give Baden the scholar skill. What is it called? Did I ever tell you how I learned to do this? Automatically see the proficiency test if a skill is applicable and add the skill permanently. So Godric automatically succeeds and is a scholar now. So go ahead and add that to his list of proficiencies. Scholar +2. Automatically succeeds. Mission successful. We could stop. We could move off the board edge here, and we would win. We don't have to do Flight in the Darkness because we've. Oh, actually, we have to explore one more marker for the sight battle, and then we don't. Then we can flee. But we'll see what we do first. So far, we're unscathed, so we might as well continue. But we did secure the ancient text and have successfully deciphered it. So that was quick action, slow action. They're moving right across to here. And they're moving to... Oh, these are frickin' resin. Did I just snap anything? No. Ooh, that wasn't good. They're moving to here. Oof, that was a close call. Alright. Now their turn. They can go ahead and move up 3 inches this way now. We need to stay outside of 9. I was taking some archery shots I don't think I was supposed to be taking. I think I was shooting over 8 inches. I'm not allowed to do that. I need to penalize myself somehow. I don't have any story points to penalize myself. We'll figure that out. We'll see how it goes. If I do well, I'll penalize myself a gold mark. Because I cheated. Alright, back to this. We've got our slow phase will be, that's it. Those three. Those three are our slow phase. They move across, they move that way. Next turn. Yeah, because he definitely... I think two of my archers. No, only one of my archers knocked someone out, but yeah, it shouldn't have happened. Thinking of it. Make the bow out of ammo. Yeah, alright, that's fair enough. So that was Chester Cook, which is this guy. He is not now out of ammo. Because I made a mistake. Good suggestion. Not too harsh, but good enough. Alright. Initiative. 2 ones. We will have that be the 2 stragglers. So 3 inches up to here. And 5 inches up to here. Then they go 4 inches to here. Alright, now we can start moving up. And they'll contact their objective this turn. Just move that. Okay, they contact their objective, so they may they'll roll again next turn. Alright, moving on. So that was them two, so now we gotta do Godric. Moves up to here. Baden moves up to here. Moving so slow. And then they move up to here. And remember that Chester Cook is out of ammo. Okay. End of turn. Next turn. Turn 10. I have not been keeping track. Alrighty. Alright, initiative. We've got 2 ones. So we're going to have our 2 stragglers again. So 5 inches gets them out into here. Hey, hole in the wall. And Asmond gets to right about there. Alright. They go. You'll contact your objective this turn. They're still unaware. And they will roll towards the new objective they're going to go to. And D8 -1. They'll go towards objective number 4, which is, I believe, this one right here. So, whenever they get there, they'll see us first, so it doesn't matter. But if they did get there and didn't see us, they would become aware, because we have already looted out that objective. So, we're going to have to fight these 3 next, which is good, because that's the sergeant. He's going to be a tough cookie. He's going to have a toughness of 5. Alright, and now our slow actions will be Godric popping out over here, just next to this, right about in there. And then these guys, might as well just go for it. Actually, no. We'll move off to the side. We'll move you recessed, and you are now a melee combatant. You go there. And then Baden. Baden also has a +1 to his combat skill. I want to get him up front. Alright, that was our turn. End of turn. Turn 11. Another initiative roll. We've got 1, and we bumped another into a 2. So we'll move Baden first as the 2. We'll go up to here. And we'll move the 1 and let it be Chester Cook. We'll go right next to Baden in case there's combat. Sure, actually can't be, but there you go. Now they'll move towards their objective, and if they're within 8, they'll become aware. They are not quite within 8, so they're still unaware technically. They roll for their next marker they're heading to. Hopefully it's marker number, which is not going to matter. I think I'm going to make all 5 of these lizard folk aware. So now me running out of ammo with that guy does actually hurt, because I'm about to have 5 lizard folks running down that hallway at me, and I could really use the extra shots. Okay, so the sergeant's moving towards objective marker 4 is going towards the same one. They must know something's going on, so they're gonna head on out this way. They're all heading to objective 4, which is right here, so I can actually remove it. It doesn't matter anymore. Neither does objective 1. The whole group's about to become aware. Alright. So that was, now I do my slow actions, which will be the wizard. Not the wizard. Go there, you'll go here. You'll go here. You can go. 3 inches is not very far. This guy's going to be like out of the fight, pretty much. I'd rather him be out of the fight than the barbarian. Alright, that was that turn. And initiative. If we can hold the field, I don't know if we don't get to explore. I don't know about the exploring markers, but we can take these 5 lizard folk out. Alright, you know what we should be doing is pulling back. Too late now, I've already kind of set up. So I've got a 1 and a 2. And also, I haven't been rolling for the wizard, but the wizard is definitely going to get. So the 2 will be Asmond, and the 1 will be Eldritch, who are the 2 stragglers. And the way back here. So 3 inches brings him to here. 5 inches brings you to here. You are running your ass off. Alright, that was that. Now I do. So this is the objective, so they're going to be moving 4 inches to here. And becoming aware. And because they're aware, he's aware, they're all aware. Or they will be in short order. Okay, so that group is now aware. Can we actually get Baden? Is it within 4? It technically is not. Just outside of 4. So we're going to pull everybody back 3 inches. And we'll actually move Godric up a little bit. This is where we're going to hold. We can actually fit another melee combatant right in that gap. And we can have our archer shoot from behind. Alright, and Asmond went. Okay, that was that turn. Next, initiative roll for turn number 12 or wherever we're at. Oh, not quite. They're going to move their 4 inches. Oh, they're going to be aware in a minute, too. He's going to be within 1 inch of an aware model. So go ahead and take their awareness away as well. Alright, everybody's aware. We're on. That's a nice line, though. Everybody's aware. The battle shall commence in earnest. And we got 2 2s and a 1. So Asmond will go. He's one of the 2s. Baden will hang tight as another 2. He's not going to take an action. And we'll have our archer. We can't shoot past 8 now, so that's out of range. So we'll have him go instead. So he moves 5 to about that corner. Okay. So he'll get 1 shot next turn, basically. Actually, he'll get a shot for a couple turns as they file in. If he only had ammo too, that'd be nice. I was supposed to technically roll to see if he goes in this phase. I'll roll that now. Technically, he's cold-blooded, and he could if I roll a 1. If I roll a 1, he'll get to go in this phase, and I can cast Shield. He did not, so I don't get to do anything. Moving on. There we go. So he's just moved forward. He'll dash, because he can, so he can go 6 inches. I'll put him to about here. He dashes. He dashes. There's no cover. I won't say objective markers or cover. But she can move the full and still attack. Bummer. Oh, come on. I don't know if I nudged people, but whatever. Mistakes happen. Alright. And she'll move the full 4 and is within 8 of my... yeah. I was giving them cover for my guys being in the way, so I'll get cover from them. So it's 6 inches, or 96 to hit my archer. And that's a miss with it. So we're good. And our slow... so he could cast Shield now. And he will. Cast Shield on himself. So I haven't cast a spell in a bit. Oh, you know what I could do? Is the Wall of Fog. and then they just can't shoot at me until they're on me. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let's read up. That's a much better idea. Kind of negates their 2 archers. How's fog work? 3 inches across, figures can move in and out, but it blocks all lines of sight. Only lasts for a full round. That's way better. Just not letting them shoot is way better than them only hitting on 6s. And that is a 6 to cast. It is not special, so I get +0. He doesn't get any bonus. So I have 3 strands. I haven't used any of them. Roll of a natural 2 expends a strand. If I succeed, it expends a strand. Natural 12 expends no strand. So he's going to cast fog. I don't have 3-inch anything. So we'll say I do have handy 2 cotton balls. Yeah, that'll work. Got 2 cotton balls handy. Let's see if I just... 1 seems to be 3. I'm playing at 15 mil, so cotton ball seems to be about. If that wasn't made perfect, that's perfect. This cotton ball is exactly, if I squish it a bit, just about 3 centimeters. So there it is. So they can still shoot that way, but I'm covering these 2 guys. So there's the wall of fog. If he succeeds, needs a 6 or better. And we do succeed. Expends 1 strand, and you're not shooting at those 2. You can still shoot at Godric, but he's got an armor 4 against range. Okay, beautiful. Nudge the camera. So that was... I'm on slow actions. It blocks his line of sight, though. I didn't really think that one through, huh? It's blocking his line of sight here. Oh, no, I can just move over... So I have 3, I can go 1.5 inches. I can go about there. I can pull line of sight on that guy, who is within 6 inches, and in the open. So I am needing, cotton ball. I also needed this hasn't come into play yet. I needed just in case I roll an environmental hazard, and it's 6 inches in all directions, so I went with cotton balls again, and made like a foggy, poisonous gas to place down. It looks pretty cool. I kind of hope it happens. So cotton balls again. That's why I had the cotton balls handy. So taking a shot needs a 3 to hit because it's within 6, and barely gets a hit. And we're looking for a 2 to break armor. Broke armor. That would have been a nice wound. And a 5 to knock out. But he gets a wound. We got a wound on the back fella. He's technically stunned, but he's not in melee, so it doesn't matter. Okay. There's slow actions. Now, when it says full round, does it mean when I go again? Lasts until the tracking phase of the following battle round. So that's going to last until the end of next battle round. Jesus. Take it easy. Knocking stuff all over the place. Alright. So Godric gets to go. Godric can actually... Let me move the cotton ball. Godric can actually get into melee, but he will not have an advantage. But he will get into melee. If he bumps him back twice, he's got nowhere to run, and I think he's just taken out. Because I'll bump him back straight into that wall, and there's another figure here, which will block him. Oh, that'd be nice. Alright, so we moved into combat. He'll get a combat advantage if I do bump him the first time, but worth it. Alright, they are black, I am white. I'm on the attack. I succeed, so I will nudge him back right up against the wall. I will follow up. So I know there's special rules that if they can't move back, they get hurt. Break their armor on a 1, unless Godric's is just a beast and he takes him down. Armor is not broken. Alright. Next attack. He will have a combat advantage. He has the advantage on me. But I still beat him by 2, so it's only 1. So now, let's try. Let me see if I just kill him first, if I brain him with my Warhammer. Oh, I have a Warhammer. I automatically break armor. Because I get +1. I'll roll it. So I break his armor. Should save the roll. I go to wound. So I don't kill him. I only do a wound, but he's got nowhere to go. I got him against a wall and an ally figure. And he can't end on top of him, so I think I just beat him into submission. The push. Back to the wall rule. If the defender is unable to retreat, they remain in place, become stunned, and another exchange is fought. Even if this extends... Oh, okay. So I fight another exchange no matter what. So he's wounded, and we fight another exchange. We just keep fighting exchanges until he's either dead or he's not back against the wall. So they got the advantage. So I still beat him. I break his armor. I'm not going to roll breaking his armor. I automatically break his armor. I have a warhammer. So roll to wound. A 2. He's wounded. He's out of action because that would have been 2 wounds. I'm going to put him down. I got to put him off to the side because people are going to be moving in and out. Nice, Godric. This is definitely going my way. Even if I start losing guys now. Still better than the bandit camp raid. That was an awful mission. Godric taking names. Alrighty. That was him, and I got... They went. Archer went. He went. Everybody went. Everybody went. Nope, Baden didn't go, and he didn't go. So that was my 2. One of my 2 was this. They move. Then they all moved to there. He shot. He cast fog. They would just stay there. He moved up, and they would just stay there, but they can move into combat. Can't he? Nope, he's just... Well, he's basically... Yeah, he's 4 inches, so if I move up 3, he's in combat. I'll move him up. He can be up. So, technically, the fog is... right there. Right in front of that archer with no ammo. Alright, so he'll go ahead and move up. I don't get the combat advantage for having my guy within 1, but he already has a +1. So, we are looking for a... how many guys just went down? 2? 1. Yeah, just 1. I need to know for morale. So, I get a +1. I'm on the offensive. We are white. Oh, and we got him. So we're going to nudge him back 1 inch. Now, if we can just break armor, he's pretty much done. Thanks for rolling natty 1. I think, do I have to decide now? Now, push comes before. Push comes before. Yeah, push comes before. So I follow up now, or I don't follow up. Follow up now. That's there. And we'll go ahead and roll to break armor. I need a 2 to break, and I do break. Now, he does have a bastard sword, so he will need a 4 or better. Anything but. Actually, he's already got a wound. Anything but. Anything but. He's out. Woohoo! So 2 down this round. And this is the slow phase, too, so... This is initiative. Or this is, what do you call it? Yeah. Way to go, Godric. At least he's not leaving the field without bloodying the sword. Alright. That was it. That was... Everybody went. Well, he didn't go. Forget this fog wall. We don't need it. We'll move up right next to Godric. They do have an archer, so the archer can't shoot at my mystic. That's about all the fog wall's doing. Alright. That was the end of the round. They lost 2. 1, 2. They make 2 rolls. And their sergeant is closest, and they're under 4, so he could possibly flee if I roll a 1. He will flee if I roll a 1. Because he's closest to the edge. Oops. Not gonna roll it. Yeah, no ones. Nobody's fleeing. These are some brave lizard folk. Alright, so now, moving on to initiative roll. We want to get at least 1-2. We can have Baden go and try to take out that archer. Or pull back behind the... Probably pull back behind the fog. Let's play smart. So I got a 2 unless I knock it. Okay, I got 1, 2. I will move him back. 100%. He moved up. He's moving back. Baden ain't no fool. He's been to war. He ain't no fool. Oh, wait a minute. He's still moving back, but this dissipates at the end of the round. Yeah, this dissipates at the end of the round. He's still moving back. That was a quick phase. I gotta roll, see if the wizard goes in the quick phase. The wizard does go in the quick phase. He'll cast another fog spell. Needs a 6 or better. Gets a 6 or better. Casts another fog. Let's see. Right here. And that ought to block line of sight to those two. Which means she's going to probably shoot at Godric. Let's just do this. Put it there. Let Godric be the target. He'll be the closest. Godric will be the target. Which is good because he's got a shield and full armor. Moving on. Their turn. So we'll move this one up 4. The javelin. No, 2. No, 4. And throw... I think I only move 2 and throw a javelin. Just within 8. Move back a little bit. So 2 javelins coming in at... Well, 1 javelin coming in from the back thrower. Coming in at Godric. Yep. Hit with a... Actually, they would get within... Let me walk that back. They're going to get within 6 inches if they can. I don't think that back one can. So that back one definitely hit with that 5. The front one will only need a 3. So the 5 hit. Breaking armor on a 5 or better. Fails to break armor. The front one needs a 3 to hit. Hits and needs a 5 to break armor. Does not break armor. Godric's tanking it. The reason they need a 5 is Godric has full armor and a shield. So he's at 4 against ranged attacks. Plus, actually, they need 6s to break his armor. They need 6s because they get -1 for the javelin to break armor. So they actually need 6s to break his armor. And then he'll dash 6 inches right to there. Oopsie daisy. 6 inches, about there. Alright, next round. We will roll initiative. No, we go our slow phase. How many times am I going to knock that wall down? We go with slow phase. Quick phase was just bad and moving back. We'll actually go ahead and leave Godric up front. Move him over here. You can move 1.5 inches to about there and still shoot if you get somebody in line of sight within 8 inches. I do not have anybody within 8 inches. You can shoot next round. So he'll move the other 1.5 inches, or he'll just nudge up over here. So he can shoot next round. These guys got 5-inch move to here. I think I might have missed a turn with these guys. You got a 3-inch move up to here. What else you got? Shield. Basically, you got shield. You kind of have bad spells. I kind of wish I didn't take the spells I took with you. I'll be really good against enemy wizards with the fog spell and the spellbreaker spell. And if I fight anybody with bonuses to damage, I'll have meekness as well. I also have heal. Heal's handy. But I haven't been hit yet, so no need for it. They went there, they went there. Baden has already gone, so it's the wizard will just get behind his own fog spell. No, he went in the quick phase. He doesn't do anything. That's it. That's the end of it. Baden went, and he went in the quick phase. That's the end. Next turn. So that fog remains until the end of this turn. That was our second strand we used up, and we have 1 left. 2 1s. We will have our archer go. We will have Asmond go. Nope, we'll have this guy who does... So we'll have the archer go first. So he is within 8 inches of nobody. He needs to nudge forward. Now he's within 8 inches of the leader. And Leader's not in cover. Not from that shot. Before I resolve that shot, I need to roll and see if the Fey Blood is going to be going in the quick phase or not. A 1? No. Alright, now we're going to resolve the shot. He needs a 5 or better, because I believe he's definitely over 6, so he needs a 5 or better. So that is not Chester, he ran out of ammo. That will be... What's the name? Leon Spencer. Leon Spencer. He's a 5. Misses. Chester will use the other one, and he'll just get next to him in case he charges. I'll have a combat advantage. Actually, he ain't charging this turn. I want to nudge back just a tad, so that way he's closest. So that was our quick phase. They move on to their phases. They're going to shoot their archers first. They'll get within 6 inches to make them both need 3s. So that's 6, and this one will munch right there. They both need 6s. First shot needs a 6 to hit. Or, sorry, needs a 3 to hit. Failed. Second shot, out of ammo, too. We'll use a wound token. It's a wound token, though. Alright. I don't know what it means. I'll say a 6 is out of ammo. That makes a lot of sense. So, out of ammo. So, next shot. Also out of ammo. So, now I don't need any tokens. Everybody's out of ammo. Wonderful. And then their sergeant will go. He gets to move 3 inches to about 4 inches to there. And he'll dash the little bit of extra just to stay outside of combat. That was quick. Slow. We'll have our archer in the back. Takes a shot. He'll actually move a little bit over here to get a clear shot. I'll take the clear shot on the sergeant. Needs a 3 to hit. Misses. But it's not out of ammo. The wizard, or actually, this is gone. We'll just get rid of that now. Baden will move up his 3 to about here. He'll move up to here. He'll move up to here. You get a 5-inch move to right about there. That's it. Next turn. Yep, next turn. Alright, we're getting there. Combat's almost over. We've almost held the field. We've got 2 2s and a 1. That's Baden and Asmond are going. And somebody else. We'll say Baden can go all the way up to here, like right next to him. Baden will go first. He goes up to here, so if he pushes him, he's pushing him back that way. Moving in, within an inch. Go ahead and... So we've got advantage because he's the sergeant, but he only gets a bump in toughness. He does have parry, though, and I have to remember that. If he rolls a 1, he parries. But we do have combat advantage. So we got him. He did not roll parry. So we win. We'll push him back to about there. We follow it up. Now we have combat advantage. Break his armor on a 2 or better. We do. And his bastard sword turns his 5 toughness back down to a 4. We need a 5 or better to knock him out. Not quite, but he does get a wound. That was exchange number 1. Exchange number 2. We have +2 on him now. Which we didn't need it, but we got it. So we're going to knock him back 1 more. About there. So I won't be able to bump him up against the wall like I did the other guy. But if I can break his armor, I think I pretty much got him. 2 to break. Oh, we didn't break his armor. Last exchange. We have combat advantage, and we have a +1, so we need 2. So we beat him again. It'll bump him back 1 more time. Back to the wall this time. But I couldn't... So I pushed him back to the wall with that attack. I don't get to keep going. If this was the last attack and he couldn't go back, I get to keep going. Anyways, breaking armor on a 1. Failed again. Alright, it was almost... Should have been Baden, my leader. Should have taken him out. But anyways, Baden went on the initiative. So now it's their turn? Baden went on the initiative. So it's their turn. So, the sergeant will hold off. We'll send this one first. Now, does it work like... So I think they get combat advantage, but we don't. Does it work like Mordheim, where you cancel each other out? Do you know, Copper Frog? Does it work like Mordheim, where you cancel each other out? So I've got... They've got a backup guy within 2 of me, but I'm within 2 of that backup guy, so I don't know. Like Blood Bowl, where you can tackle zones. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no for now. I'm going to say they get the combat advantage. Combat bonus. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about others, so yeah, they get it. Yeah, so I just read it. It says, combat bonus. Character with combat bonus adds 1 to the combat skill. Combat bonus is awarded if either the opponent is stunned, the character has an ally within an inch of the character is in a confined space, or if the character is in a confined space, now a quarter, defending a doorway. So I kind of haven't been using that. So they do have an ally within 1 inch, right there. So it doesn't matter if I'm there. They get the combat bonus. So that is this out-of-ammo Javelineer. So now they get a +1, but I'm at a +1, so we're even. And they overcame me, so he needs a 3 to break my armor. And he does. And they need a 4 to knock me out. And they do. Baden gets crushed. That was my avatar. He's got a helmet, so that'll help. Alright, Baden takes it. Gets knocked out. And there's nothing I can do. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. He's done. By a lowly nobody. Now he'll go. No, this guy will go. 4 inches, will that bring him into combat? Yeah, that'll bring him into combat. No advantage, but into combat. That hurt. And we've got no advantage, so they move back, because it's a tie. Back, back. Then this guy will move into here, and I will get a combat advantage. They've got a light weapon, so they'll have an armor 2 against me. But, for now, it is... I get a +1 and they don't. So, I need to beat them. And I did, so now I'm the attacker with a combat advantage on the second exchange. This is Chester Cook. And we got through. We're going to nudge him back an inch. We'll follow up. And we break armor on a 3 or better. We did break his armor. Now he's got a toughness of 5. I need a 6 or better to get this guy. Ho-ho! Chester Cook shoots a guy down, runs out of ammo, and then takes down the enemy sergeant. Way to go, Chester. Leave him on the table for now. And that was their move. Now I go to my slow action. Let me take that. First I gotta leave Baden here. Take that picture. That's what happens when you lead from the front, Baden. You should know better. Alright, now our slow phase. We will move the wizard up. We'll move Asmond up to here. We'll move my archer, if I can get him untangled, over to where this body was, or right about there. And he'll take his shot. We'll need a 3. Needs a 3 to hit that back guy, back lizard folk. And we got the 3. We need a 2 to break. Broke armor. We're looking for a 5 or better to knock out. Didn't knock out, but did wound. So, and then we're going to move Godric right up to here. He has a 0 combat, but they have a 0 combat, so we're looking for white, so we tied. So that's the end of that fight. Alright, morale. We need a 1 to fail. they did not fail. Alright, so clear Godric. Damn, Godric got killed. Well, we'll see what happened. Clear the lizard folk. And I have no silver leaf either. 0 silver leaf. I had no money to buy it. Initiatives. Remove 1 dice. Actually, he should have gone on the slow phase as well. So he can go about 2 inches there, about 3 inches to about there. Good thing he's fast. He might actually be able to take a shot next turn. Okay. Initiative. Only 6 dice now. 1, 2, that'll be Asmond. And only Asmond. He moves. Let's see, I gotta do it this way. So I would say they're just outside of 4. So he can move his 3, but he can't get within an inch. So he'll move just behind Godric. We want Godric to take the shot. He is much better armored. Fix it up. Right there. So now there go. Oh wait, I gotta see if my wizard's gonna go. He's a Feyblood. He does go in a quick phase. So we'll have him. He can actually get into combat. Yes, he can. And he will not. He'll go scoot right here. Gotta get him a bow. Alright. Their turn. They will have their... He'll move in, so he'll be outside of an inch of an enemy. So... And... we won the exchange because we're tied, so we're on the offensive now. We lost the exchange, we're back on the defensive. And last exchange, we lost the exchange. However, he has a shield and I rolled a 1, so that is a parry. Excellent. So that's nothing. I can't move back, so that person will move back. That lizard will move back. Their other lizard will get stuck with a combat disadvantage. So Godric has a combat advantage against that lizard, which we win the combat now. We're on the offensive. We won that combat, so we're going to push him back, and we will not pursue. We might actually kill him. So we're not pursuing. We're looking for a 2 to break. Broke his armor, looking for anything but a 1, and we take him down. It's a 4, it's a wound. Yeah, it's a second wound, that'll take that lizard down. That was monster phase. Our quick phase was only Asmond, so the rest of us get to go. So, let me, before I go, let me read the rules on this mission and see if, once I hold the field, if I can continue to explore markers. Because I don't want to get stuck not getting to check out markers. We've already deciphered the script. So we've got that done. Baden was a learned man. He would have written it down. Actually, he was requested to write it down by the guy who gave him the quest. So he definitely wrote it down. So we've succeeded, even though he's dead. Possibly dead. Alright, let's read it. Retreat. Okay, go to the end. No. Cramped conditions. The objective. Warband counts as achieving their objective if they clear at least any retreat off the table anytime. Each character that retreats. Once an enemy comes... No. Retreat. Warband members may retreat off the battlefield images. Doesn't say... Does the battle end as soon as everybody's dead? Or do I just get to keep playing? See that? I don't know that one. Alright, here's my dilemma. Do I get to... I'm actually within, technically... Oh, not quite. Not quite within 3. Almost within 3. So what he's going to do is he's going to move his little measly bit. And that'll put him within 3 of that objective. When I move within 3 of an objective... We're going to do this first. So he's in the middle of taking his turn, my archer there. I roll percentiles to see what that exploration site is. Site finds. And that will be a 92 footsteps, so that's going to be something. Place one enemy melee trooper 9 inches away in a random direction. The newly placed enemy cannot be within 4 inches of a warband member, so continue moving the figure until it does. The new figure is unaware patrol. Okay, so we determine a random direction, which is a little harder to do in the dice tray. Actually, no, it's not that hard. Let me level this out so it's nice and even. We'll go ahead and roll our d10 and do the wiping. So this is the direction that I hear the footsteps. So wherever the point points. So on the screen, it's pointing. Where's the guy who heard it? This guy heard it. So it's pointing this way. So it'll be 9 inches from this guy, which brings me to right about here. So it's past the wall. So that's where he is. And he is unaware. So I don't actually have to. What luck, huh? And we cleared that objective. Actually, technically, I gotta put these all back, because if he comes upon an unexplored or explored marker, he'll become aware again. Alright, so he shows up there. So now I'm going to take my shot. So now I don't have to look it up because I've got a guy on the board. I haven't quite cleared the board yet. So I can go explore the rest of these markers. And I am looking for a 3 or better to hit. I got it. I'm looking for a 2 or better to... Looking for a 2 or better. I failed. Failed to penetrate armor. Now we want... Who was our first guy to go? I think the first guy to go was Asmond, so he'll move his 2.5. He'll take a clear shot as well. Within 6. That is Eldred. Eldred hits. Eldred's looking to break armor on a 2. Eldred breaks armor. Eldred's looking for a 5 to knock him out. Gets a 6. Eldred drops another. Uh-oh. You know what? He might retreat. No, he's unaware. Alright, so those guys are gone. Now, we've got 3-inch move here, and 3-inch move around there. That is my turn. Enemy turn, or initiative. I'm going to roll what objective marker he's going to go before I roll initiative. He is heading towards -1, objective marker 5, which is this one, way in the back, right at the tip of my ruler. Is objective marker 5. So that's where he's heading. There was no melee combat there. Alright, so we can go ahead and probably remove the 4 and the 1. I'll just leave them in place. They might come in. So now we're going to roll initiative. We've got a 2 and a 1. Asmond's a 2. He'll move 3 in between here. 1 will be him. He can move 5 inches over to here. So Asmond and Eldred went. He goes. He's going to go around that. He's going to go there. It'll take him longer if he moves through the difficult terrain. So we'll go that way, and then the rest of our guys go 3, 3, 3, and 3. So I'm just going to say we all go on the slow phase, just to make this next portion quicker. Because we should be able to stay ahead of him without him being able to see us. He needs to be within 8 inches. So we're all going to go on the slow phase. So he moves ahead 4 to get to there. He's still unaware. He's heading towards objective 5, which is way in the back. So he still doesn't have line of sight. We all move. He moves 5. Let's move from the front. 3. Yeah, let's try to get in a line. That'll make things easier and quicker. Yep. 3 is just behind Asmond. Godric. He moves 5. Alright, next round. He'll move 4. He can actually scoot through there. That is quicker to go through there. So we're still outside of 8. He's like right there. Yeah, still outside of 8. So we will go 5 to that opening. And what's over here? Just one objective marker? Yeah. And Chester Cook. No. Chester Cook will go forward. 3, so will you, so will you, so will you. And get in a line, guys. We got nudged. He'll move around over to here, getting ready to go for that objective. Alright, he'll go first. Crawls through here. Puts him to about there. Now, if he's within 8 inches, it will matter. He's not. He's barely. Let's move this so I can get a better check here. So that's 8 inches. So he's just out. So we're just on the edge of the light. So next turn I will roll because he'll be able to catch up. So we'll move 3 to here. 3. He'll move 5 inches to in here. So he'll be out of sight almost. And he might also be out of sight. He moves 3 inches right into there. Okay, so they kind of duck around the corner. Is he within 3? He is not. Now I need to roll initiative because I want to try to get Asmond a little further ahead so he doesn't get spotted. Alright, round doesn't matter. 20, 25. Alright, so I failed all of them. Well, actually, the wizard could possibly go. So we're about to reveal. Does the wizard go? The wizard does not go. I was going to say you could drop some fog behind him and they wouldn't get line of sight. But he can't. So he goes first. Goes his 4 inches to about here, and that should be within 8. That is within 8. He is no longer unaware. So he's going to start chasing us down. He's going to move towards the closest guy. So now we go. We'll go 3 inches here. He'll go nice and close. And objective marker number 3 is a 67. 67 is a trap. Uh-oh. Trap. What kind of trap? A 50. A pinning trap. The trap character... Sorry, let's start again. The trap captures the character and holds them in place. When activating next, the character must succeed on a 9 wit test to break free. Only adjacent per ally. One adjacent ally per battle round can use an action to help to attempt the test on their behalf. Okay, so he's stuck there. Can't use any ranged attacks other than throwing knives. But he may fight melee. But he's automatically on the defensive. So he's stuck there. I should have done a little cage. I didn't do a little cage. So we're going to pin him. So I want to simulate a pin. Here, we can actually use one of our stones and knock it over on him. So we got trapped. Okay. We're going. We'll go this way. We're still trying. The wizard will go that way. The archer... He'll go after him, if anything. But right now, Asmond's in line of sight and visible. Okay, next round. Now we don't care. We'll just go in the slow phase now. Keep knocking that same one. I'm just going to lay it down. It's not even on camera. Oh, it will be if I lay it down. Alright. We're getting to the end. We're going to move right into here. Am I 6 inches away? How far away am I? So if I move 3, I get to just about there, and that'll be just outside. So we'll go around. Go here. So next turn, he gets to see what that is. Oh, he gets to move up 4 to here. Alright, now Asmond will probably be far. Godric will be closest. So he'll move 3 this way. It's about there. He'll move 3 this way. You just outside. Just outside of 3. We'll say we're right there. So let's check objective marker 0. see what this is. 96. Footsteps is another guy. Footsteps in a random direction. We're never going to finish this battle. Never going to finish it. Footsteps in... Where am I pointing? That away. From him. We'll put him right against the wall. Let's get this fella right. We got these guys. So we're about there. He's not within 4. He's technically unaware until he activates, but he will become aware when he activates. We've done that one. Alright, so that was him. That was him. Asmond will go... I'll measure it. I'm going to need to help out up there. And you'll go ahead and start your shooting. Let's go ahead and move my little bit that I can. That won't get him within 6. So he'll need a 5 to hit. He's within 8, though. So looking for a 5 to hit that lizard. He rolled a 4. No hits. And that is... the turn. Next turn. Now we need to roll initiative. Lost a die. I'll get that later. And we rolled a hell of an initiative. So Asmond gets to go on a 2. He'll go this way. Pull up the front. He'll be just outside of combat from him. He'll move around. He'll get a 1 and he'll get a 1. His 1 will take him back 3 inches. And his 1 will bring him to here to reveal. We'll bring him closer. Let's reveal that exploration marker. That is almost the last one I gotta do. The wizard wants to reveal that last one up there, number 5. I'll do it. He'll just go up and do it. Yeah, he'll just do it. Alright, so this exploration marker is... a 76. Guarded stash. I'm never going to hold the field. Place a marker at the most distant point on the table that the character can draw a line of sight to. Then place 3 enemy troopers within 2 inches. They are marked as unaware sentries. Okay, so who did it? He did it? So, looking at his line of sight, he can draw a clear line of sight. Oh, that's not good. That's the furthest point. Yeah, that's not good. So he can draw a line of sight to... I drew a loot stash. I actually have a model for this. He can unfortunately draw a line of sight to... Well, I guess it's over here. He should be alright. Right there. He can draw right through that stalactite and that one right there. To right here is the furthest point. Now I place 3 sentries within an inch. Melee troops, or within 2 inches. So they'll be behind. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Okay, they're there, and the one guy on this side. There. So, yeah. Why would they wouldn't be aware of him if they weren't aware now, so. They're unaware, and this guy is now being really quiet as he's pinned underneath the trap. This marker's all set. That's now a loot roll, or 3 loot rolls? 3. If I can get that marker. Character moving into contact with the marker may claim 3 rolls on the loot table. If I can touch that, I get 3 rolls. He's pinned. That was him. Is that it? That's it. Next turn. Next turn. Oh no, he can go forward. 3 inches. Not quite in contact. Next turn. Alright. I might have lost track of my steps there. Alright, initiative. 3 ones will be wizard. We'll move within 3 inches of this objective. That's the last one on the table. Last exploration marker. I was bold and went to explore all of them. Could have stopped and killed that last guy and held the field. But nope. No, I couldn't. Actually, this guy doesn't get an unaware marker. They get a sentry marker. Sentry. Those guys are sentries. Right. 3 ones. So him first. He rolls on the last roll on the exploration site finds. We got a 21 item. Barely. And that's a loot roll. What? This has been a hell of a game, regardless of what happens. Even if Baden dies, which would suck, but it would suck if my avatar gets killed, but I did such a good game getting all this loot. I have nothing to save him, except for her helmet. Where is the loot? I needed Silverleaf, I don't have any. Oh, wait, you know what? I can possibly get Silverleaf. Probably right here. What do I need? Consumables. 71 through 90, please. A 75. I'm like Babe Ruth, I'm calling it. So that's consumables. I need Silverleaf is a 68 through a 72. I need to roll a 68 through a 72. Is there anything else that could possibly bring me back? Not that I can see. Alright, so we're looking for a 68 through a 72. 94. That will get me 2 torches. Yay. Yay, 2 torches. Actually, if I used them, I could see farther and shoot dudes, but... Alright. So... Torch... times 2. That was our 3rd clue. Alright, so he got that. Alrighty, next is... That's the last thing. So the only thing left to find... I can actually remove... I can remove them all now. So all loot tokens have been discovered. Pretty soon, everybody's going to be aware who's moving, so it won't matter. So all of these can get cleared out. Okay. So he went on a 1. He'll go on a 1, and he'll go... He will not go. He'll go on a 1, and he'll go on a 1. He goes to here. The archer will move within 6. But just within 6, so I don't get attacked. And he'll shoot an arrow. That lizard. So wizard, archer, Godric. So archer hitting on a 5, hitting on a 3. Hit. Breaking armor on a 2. Broken. Ugh. Give me a 5 or better. A 2. He's got wound. Wound's good. Wound is good enough. That was quick phase. Slow phase. We'll move just outside of an inch with a dash. They're sentries. They stand still. He is now aware. He will move towards... He doesn't really have a line of sight on him through that pillar, so he'll move towards him. Alright, our slow phase. Moving him back here. That's 4 inches. You can only move 3. We'll move here. Asmond has not gone. He will charge. He is a Duskblade. Gets to re-roll his attack on the charge. We are black. We are white. They are black. We will re-roll. Get a still fail. He is now the attacker. Roll a 1. We do not have parry. We lost. He only needs a 2 to break us. Pushes us back. He will follow up. We'll have a combat disadvantage. So 2 to break us. I got a bad feeling about this. And he needs a 4 to knock us out. Phew! Oh, it's just a stun. We're automatically on the defensive, but we do have a combat advantage. But they do too, because we're stunned. So it's still even. Last exchange. Nope, we have a +1 to our combat. Asmond has a +1, so it's a tie. Oh, thank God. So Asmond had a +1 normally, and he has +1 combat advantage. Gives him a +2. And he gets a +1 because I'm stunned. He gets the combat advantage because I'm stunned. That puts us at my +1 still. So, okay, so that was a tie. Thank God. Just avoided an injury there. Alright. Whew. He went. Asmond went. Archer went. He can't go. That's it. Okay, next round. Alright, next round. Initiative. Alright, we got Asmond and probably an Archer will go. Yeah, Asmond and Archer will go, and then we'll roll, see if the Wizard goes. Wizard does not go. Alright, Archer and Asmond. We'll have the Archer turn around, move his little bit this way, and get just within 8 and take a shot. Needs a 5. Needs a 5 to hit the guy in the back. Hits with a 6. Needs a 2 to break armor. Breaks armor with a 3. Needs a 4. 5 to knock him out. 5 to knock him out. Hits him with a 4. 1 wound on you. That's good. And then Asmond will charge again. Has +1 to his +0. Come on. I need this. Oh, he gets +1. He beat him. So we'll push him back. We'll definitely follow up. We'll need to re-roll that. Alright, looking for a 2 or better to break armor. He does. Now he's got Bastard Sword, so he only needs a 4 or better to... That's actually anything but a 1. Oh, stunned. Next attack. We're still on the defensive. And we have combat advantage. And we knock him back another inch. So we get +2. And we lost. We're on the defensive. And we got it. He needs a 2 to break our armor. Yeah. He pushes us back, first of all. 2 will break our armor. He does. A 4 will knock us out. A 1 again! Just stunned. Thank God. Combat done. We scoot back a bit. Holy shit. That was his go and his go. Monster turn. He'll move forward. He's just outside of 6, so we'll just move his dash to just within 1 of him. He'll charge Godric, or he'll charge Asmond. Alright, so Asmond gets the +1. And Asmond wins. Asmond is now on the offensive. Asmond got through. Needs a 2. Well, he nudges him back, first of all. Follows up. Needs a 2 to break armor. He does, barely. I gotta get this guy a Warhammer. 2 to break armor and a anything but a 1. And he got him. Takes out another. Ooh-wee. Okay. And next up. That was them and him. They're unaware. Our slow actions will be, which is here. The Wizard, go this way. That's it. Archer went. Yeah, he wounded him. Alright, that's it. Next round. Oh, wait, first, morale. He might run away. If I roll a 1, the wounded lizard man will run away. I did not roll a 1. I rolled a 6. Alright, initiative. Oh my god. I've went for about, like, 2 turns minimum trapped under this thing. I get to roll some wit tests. Alright, we'll say 2 turns. Or at least this turn. He'll just do this turn. I messed it up. He needs a wit 9+. Glad I remembered. So he does. He's out of the trap. He manages to pull himself out of the trap. Alright. be in it for the next game. Nice. That was some good fortune right there. Alright. Glad I remembered. Initiative. Still just on the other side of that pillar, though, is 3 more lizard folk. I rolled a 1, 1, and a 2, and this was out of the box. We got a 1, 1, and a 2. So Asmond will go first. Nope, Archer will go first. He'll fire in. He's within 6, so he only needs... So Archer, Asmond, and... Godric. No. Archer, Asmond... No. Nguyen or Gaian. Gaian over here is going to go. He's going to go, and Asmond's going to go, because Asmond's got a 2 initiative. So he'll move his 3 up to here. The wizard will move... Nah, he can't give a combat advantage. So we're actually going to go, those 3 are going to go. So we'll have our archer fire. Yes, and then the other archer will go. Alright, so first archer firing needs a 3. Hits with a 3. This guy can't miss, man. He's nail him. Wound breaks on a 2. Breaks on a 2. Broke armor. Anything but a 1. He's down. Got him. Man. Archers, in the book it says archers are worth their weight in silver. Ain't that the truth? Way to go. Alright, so, here's what happens next. As long as I remain outside of 8 inches, which is, I'm going to put him there, right there. Don't go any closer than that. And they don't move because they're on sentry mode, which means we get to move our entire warband right up to here. So I can take as many turns as I want to get here because they're not moving. So I'll make a skirmish line. I'm going to swap. And right there. Okay, got ourselves, actually, yeah. No. Yeah, alright. Okay, so we take, I don't know, however many turns it takes to get there. Okay, start of turn 310. Rolling initiative. We've got a 1, 1, and a 2. So Asmond will go on the 2, and Godric and the wizard. So, first thing is the wizard. I keep calling him a wizard, I know he's called a mystic. So we want our mystic Gaian to go. Alright, Gaian's gonna cast Fog. If he can. He does on a 7. That was his last strand. He cast Fog 3 times. Where he's gonna place it is right in front of the stupid faces of these lizards. Right there. Right in front of the dumb lizard faces. So they can't see us, so we're not going to be in line of sight this round. So Godric will move up. So they'll remain sentry mode, because they're not in line of sight. Move the whole crew up. Well, he can't, because he's not going to move. He'll cast his spell instead. Okay. Now, roll again for initiative on the next turn, because that remains in place for a turn. So we're going to go on either side of this pillar here. Got 2, so only Asmond gets to go. We'll go ahead and move out this way. Okay, Asmond goes. They're still all blinded from the fog in front of their faces. And that means they're not going to move. So I'm going to need to move this. So there's fog in front of their dumb faces. Alright. He's got a 5-inch move, and he can definitely come into contact with that arm. So we're going to send in the quick guy. Right there. We can move this now. Because they didn't take their turn. This was right here. Alright, so, quick guy moves in, snatches all the loot. Let's see what we got. We get that loot no matter what happens. We desperately need Silverleaf. If we can get it in the loot roll, that'll be a big deal. Alright, loot tables. First loot roll. Man, we got so much loot out of this. First roll, 89. Consumables. Please give me a Silverleaf. 68 through 72. 35. 35 is map making kit. Interesting. Map making kit. I have to write this down. I don't know how to draw that picture. Map making kit. Second roll. Is a 92 enchanted item. Ooh-wee. Enchanted items table. We've got a 73 enchanted jewelry. Interesting. Enchanted jewelry. This is an awesome table. This reminds me of AD&D. Enchanted jewelry. We have found 35. Gentle illumination. And may be activated with a use action once total. Duration of the battle. I think this is one-shot use, no? Anyways, I can get rid of all negative effects from illumination. Penalties due to fog and darkness. I can illuminate everything right now. I don't know if it's usable, though. So what was that? Gentle illumination. Enchanted jewelry. What a find. I think I can sell that for good money. I'll have to read the rules and see if it's more than one use. Nation. Okay, last roll. Come on, give me another 91, that'd be nice. Last roll. Still no Silverleaf. We got a 76. Is a consumable. Very good. We need 68 through 72 to get our Silverleaf. Okay, we've been rolling exactly. It's like I'm calling it. Can we get it? 72, 68 through 72. Nope, not this time. We got a consumable. Where is it? Coil of rope, I guess. Because, yeah, why wouldn't we find a coil of rope in a treasure chest? Coil of rope. How's that a consumable? Do you eat it? Is it a coil of rope licorice? Coil of rope, I guess. Okay. Well, that's what we found. Pretty good loot. They're going to be aware now at the end of this round. The beginning of next round, I should say. We still get some more moves. This archer can actually nudge forward a little bit and take a shot. It'll be through cover, so we'll need a 6, but you can take it. Take a 6 on that closest guy. Misses. And then the wizard went. He can go that way. Godric can go that way. Okay. Next round. Let's hold the field. That would be nice. We've got 2 1s and a 3. Or 2 1s and a 2. So we will have one of the ones be Godric here. He'll move forward right to here. Asmond will be the 2. Move right up behind Godric. Move this real quick. Right in behind Godric. And then we will move this archer here. He'll move back 2.5 inches. and take a shot through cover. Actually, in this wall. So actually, he's not really covered from him. So he gets a clean line of sight. Technically, that other guy would too, but he was shooting through that guy. So. All right, so he's got a clean line of sight. That archer that just moved back, Eldred. So he needs a 3, which he gets. He needs a 2 or better to break, which he gets, and he needs a 5 or better to knock him right out. He does not, but he does wound. So first guy's wounded. I'll mark it when there's some more space in there. And that's the end of that round, because we waited and kept them ignorant. All right. Nope. That was not the end of the round. That was the end of the quick phase. Monster phase is up next. And you're the closest. So move in. First guy will move right in. No combat advantages either way. If he pushes me back, I'll get one. But as of now, no combat advantage. Even. He gets us, so he pushes us back. And he needs to break our armor with a 4. He needs a 4 to break our armor. He does not break our armor, but now we have combat advantage from Asmond, who's right there. So, we get +1. We are now on the offensive. We still maintain combat advantage. So we will need... And it's a tie. Nudge back. Oops. Nudge back. Alright, so next guy will move in on Godric as well, but he can't quite reach him because he got pushed back too far. This guy will go over here and we'll get into combat with this guy. Alright. 0 versus 0. He is wounded too. This is the wounded guy. He's definitely going to go after the guy that shot him, for sure. Alright. And tie. Each nudge back. Alright. Now we go slow phase. We have an archer right in his face. He needs a 3 to hit him. That archer right there. 3 to hit. 3 to hit that lizard folk. Hits him on a 6. He needs a 2 to break his armor. Barely broke it, but he broke it. Anything but a 1, and he's out. He's out. That guy has taken out at least 3 dudes. I'll have to look at the playback. But I'm pretty sure he's taken out at least 3. I need to lay him on the table. I'm not even going to take a picture of that. We've killed so many lizard men in this battle. So many lizard men. Well, that leaves the wizard. Move up 3. And Chester Cook. Archer and apparently knife fighter extraordinaire. That was us. Godric hasn't even gone yet. He will go. Right? No, Godric did go. Don't remember. Asmond went, the archer went, and I think Godric went. So, that is the end of the round. I need to hit the playback here. I did record, but I'm not going to look it up. Alright, so, he can go. We got to roll 1 in morale. On a 1, one of these guys flees. Oh. Some brave mother effers. Alright, initiative. We've got a 2 and a 1. The 2 will be Asmond. Yes, Asmond will charge that lead. Let's move this out of the way. He'll charge the lead lizard folk. Nobody gets combat advantage. Oh, I gotta roll and see if the wizard's going in quick. He is not. Alright, Asmond does not have a combat advantage, but he does have a +1 to his combat, so he will hit him. He'll nudge him back. Now they'll have a combat advantage next round. First we see if we break his armor on a 2-up. We did. And a 4-up will knock him out of the game. Which he does. Asmond chops him right down. And then Godric goes on the 1. He'll charge here. Godric gets a combat advantage. Godric barely beats him, but he does beat him. Breaks him on a 2. Oh, breaks him on a 1. He has a warhammer. and he has an armor 1, he breaks him on a 1, which he did. And a 5+ will take him down. 5+. 4 will be a wound and a stun. But we already have a combat advantage. That was exchange 1. Godric wounds him. Exchange 2. Tie. Break him apart. He gets to go, because that was our quick action. This is now monster action. He'll, in a last-ditch effort, he's going to charge... Godric wounded him. He'll go for Godric. Even though it would be better to go for Asmond, but dude hits you with a hammer, and you got a choice of who you're going to throw at. It's going to be the guy who hit with a hammer. So he's attacking him. Plus Asmond will get a +1. So we have the advantage. So we actually succeed in beating him, because it's a tie, and we have +1 combat advantage. So now we're on the offensive. And we overcame him. We push him back 1. So no more combat advantage. But we automatically break him. And anything but a 1, and he's down. Because Warhammer automatically breaks his 1. Anything but, and we got him. And that, holy shit, does it. End of battle. Woohoo! That was an awesome battle. That was an awesome battle. So, let's take a look at the victorious heroes. Standing with their massive pile of loot. Camera doesn't want to focus on them, but there they are. They stand victorious. Alright, let's go ahead and clear out the board. So I want to do... Okay, let's see. So I did 2 footsteps and 3 from guarding the treasure. That's 5. Plus the original 8. That's 13 old kin that we managed to put down. And all we lost was poor old Baden. He got knocked out. That, I don't think, is the norm. Because 9 bandits destroyed us on a bandit raid. So this, I think we got incredibly... Well, we played it smart. We waited for them to move out. They were on patrol, and we were able to move, take them at one group at a time. Yeah, it was an awesome fight. I'm going to have to edit this up on YouTube eventually. I'll post it on YouTube, but I want to edit it up. It's definitely worth it. Alright. Let's go ahead and do our quick post-battle and see what happens to poor old Baden. I don't want him to die. Alright, let's go ahead and move this board. 12:15. Oh, gosh. I am up way later. I'm way past my bedtime. Alright, perfect though. That was an awesome fight. Tons of loot. Tons of loot. Site battles are where it's at, apparently. I got 4... No. 5 loot rolls? I don't remember. It was a lot. Alright. Now we need to bring up the book. Ta-da. So we completed quest number 1. Now I don't have to... I'll put the book over here. So this is the part that gets boring for anybody looking to dip out now, unless you want to see what happens to Baden. But then I got to roll my campaign turns for the next battle, so I know what I need to. It's getting late. What I need to print out for the next fight. So let's go ahead and put our victorious... That was only my second battle, man. We did really good on that one. First battle we got crushed. We didn't even put a dent in them. I think we took out 3 and they took every one of us out. But we got really lucky on our injury rolls. Hopefully I can get really lucky on this one. I do have a Star of the Story. I didn't get Silverleaf, but I just remembered that it is the Star of the Story, which I still have, where I roll 3 times on any table and pick whichever one I want, or is it roll 2 times? Let me look at it. I'm going to use it for Baden. I don't want him to die. I don't think that's how the story went. Roll twice, pick a result I like the best. If you dislike both results, you may choose to have nothing happen. Interesting. Oh, lucky break. A character may ignore a roll they just made on the post-game injury table. Boom. Lucky break, and I don't think that's how the story went. So I'll tell you now, Baden's gonna make it, but let's see if I have to use up my lucky break to do it. Alright, here we go. How did I do it last time? This whole turn 2, that's a big entry. Here we go. Where is it? Date of battle. I'm going to write that down. So it'll be the 12th. 12th of Droxy. It'll be 1161. That's Mindus. And I forget what the second day of the week is. Second day of the week is Bolden. Alright, and then we do post-battle. How did I write it? Battle 1. Oh, held the field. Held the field. Oh, that feels nice to write down. We held the field. Can't even spell. It's too late to spell correctly. Held the field. Did it again. Good enough. Alrighty. Next we need to... So we held the field. Collect adventure points. Let's go to the actual sequence. I know what I need to do. So let me go check the quest. I don't think I get anything bonus for the quest. Being that it's just the first step of the quest. The good thing about quests is I don't have to carry it on next turn. I think I need to go hunting out bad guys. After completing, so once I complete task 2, 4, and 6, I get some quest find stuff. But for this one, I get nothing. So I just completed step 1, and that's all you get. You get to complete step 1. Okay, yep. So we just complete step 1. So the quest doesn't have anything for this particular, but we did do a site battle, and that. Oh, and we didn't get any of that. So site battle. Nothing extra there, so it's just normal. We already got a ton of loot already. So it's just normal end of battle stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see what we get. We're going to get some levels up. We better get some levels up. Chester Cook took down the actual sergeant, so. Does it matter? Where's the table that tells you what you get? Here we go. Enemy leader. So if you slay an enemy leader, which is the sergeant was a leader, you get +1 XP. It was actually Chester Cook, who is a follower, who did it. He doesn't get anything. Bummer. But we held the field, or achieved. So we got the +1 for holding the field and surviving the encounter. So everybody's going to get +2, all my heroes. And then I'm going to get to roll, all of my 2 followers remained on the field, so they'll get to roll on Flash of Insight. Alright, we're getting ahead of ourselves, though. We need to determine... Collect adventure points. And we got finish contract, no. Defeat a lieutenant, no. Unique foe, no. Didn't ride patrol and didn't encounter, so we get no adventuring points for that. Not a 1. Can you believe it? 0 adventuring points for that. Okay. We have to do the go seek out the enemy threat if we want adventure points. All right, check for injury. So we're gonna roll. Let's write it down. Check for injury. Semicolon. That'll be Baden. It'll be at 1D100 equals. I think it's a D100, yeah? Yeah, it's a D100. Alright. So I do have that star of the story. He isn't going to die. I'd rather not use it yet. 31. He has a moderate wound, so he'll be out for a D6 turns. We will accept... Oh, he's got luck. Characters with luck points may ignore. So I can spend the point of luck. He's got luck, too. He ain't dying. Oh, what did I roll? 31? He has a helmet. He needs, what, a 5? Anything ending in a 5 and he's fine? Yeah, I think that's how the helmet works. Let me double check the helmet. Five viewers, wow. Post-battle is the most interesting part of this game. Let's see. Where is here's equipment. Helmet. Another suit of armor, that's awesome. And it is doubles. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So that's not a 33, so 31 is moderate. Moderate injury. I think we're just gonna take it. And we'll rest up in town. Baden earned it. He'll earn this rest. See how many turns he is out for. We'll also visit the healer and we can shorten that. Alright, he is out for 2. That's not too bad at all. 2 turns. So it's really 3 turns before he can actually get back into the fight. Alright. Baden's injury. Moderately injured? Happens. He'll bear that scar with pride. Next, we move to check for advancement. So I already determined that... Oh, I need to... I'll write the loot down at the end. And the XP at the end. So, Baden gets 2 XP. That gives him 4 XP. He gets an advancement. Gaian, our mystic, gets an advancement. Godric gets an advancement. He better. He kicked a little ass. Asmond gets an advancement. This is our first advancement here for all of them. Chester Cook and Leon Spencer get to roll Flash of Insight, and Eldred gets an advancement as well. All 5 of my heroes got an advancement because they had fought the previous battle. So they all had 2 experience points from the previous battle. Or some of them trained, I think, too. So that's cool. They have enough to go ahead and level up, so let's go ahead and do that. So, all heroes level. Level up. We'll go through that in a minute. I'll wait to roll Flash of Insight. We'll go ahead and level up these heroes. That's page 193. See what are we gonna get? Alright, so we'll do our Baden first. Hold the phone. Does Baden get the roll? He survived. He didn't die. Wait, does survive the encounter mean doesn't get knocked out? To get the experience points? Let me read that. That is a question. See experience points. I'm here. Survived the encounter. Says survive. Doesn't say knocked out. We all survive. We all get an XP. Basically, it's a freebie. You get an XP if you fight the battle. If you die, it doesn't matter. So yeah. So Baden did level up. So now we're going to roll non-mystic level up, and he gets... So 1d100 equals a 6. 6 is speed increase or skill selection. So 6 equals... He's got... Let's see what his skills are. He got a lot of skills. He's got Devotion, Expertise, and Scholar now, because I used the Star of the Story to get it. So what other skill? I could give him another skill if I wanted. Or I can give him a speed increase. I'm going to give him the speed increase. +2 speed. That was Baden. Baden's moving quick now. Not the best roll. Definitely would have preferred a different roll. But can't complain. He'll be in full armor in a minute too. Alright. That was Baden. I gotta give him a shield as well. Baden went. Next up is, I believe, Gaian. Yep. Gaian. That is a D100 equals. Now he's a mystic, so he rolls on the mystic table, which is a separate table. He rolls a 1. Skill selection. Yay. That's a bummer. Alright, he rolled a 1. So he's going to get, let's see. What skill makes the most sense for Gaian? I'd give him wit, and then he would have a +3 to wit. And he already gets the +1 for being Fey-blooded. Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer. But everything else went really well, so. Crafting, devotion, expertise, leadership, athletics, scholar, scouting, speech, traveling, wilderness, wits. Battle-wise is good. Crafting is good. I'm going to give him battle-wise. He would definitely be the guy who's paying attention here. We're going to give him the battle-wise skill, and that'll help me with seizing initiative. Hey, thanks, Copperfrog. Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it. I'll be putting this stuff up on YouTube in a later date and time if you ever want to figure out what happens next. Battle-wise. +2. Okay. Let's go ahead and give him battle-wise. I think the next time he gets a skill, it'll probably be wits. Alright. Next up is Godric. Godric did really well that battle, too. Let's get this guy a point of combat would be nice. I roll another skill, I'm not going to be happy. No more skills. Non-mystic. Oh, it's a 33. That's agility or toughness? Toughness, hands down. Oh, wait, Godric already had a 4 toughness, doesn't he? Yeah. What's the maximum toughness? First raise toughness is 4. So if he takes a toughness increase, nah. Get an agility too. So he gets the toughness increase. It says the first toughness increases raises his toughness to a 4. It's already a 4. I think that means he doesn't get the toughness. If I would have to take it twice to get him to a 5, I believe. Any increase gained are counted as a previous increase on the table. Actually, it says right there. Any increases gained during character creation are counted as a previous increase on the table below. So he's got a 33. That gives him +1 toughness. Godric now, gotta get that dude a helmet too. Godric now has 5 toughness. Woohoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo. One tough dude right there. Alright, that was Godric. Next up is Asmond. D100 equals. Asmond's roll is a 19. What is the deal with these low rolls? So he gets a speed or a skill. I'm going to give him a speed. He's a barbarian. +2 speed. So he now has 6 speed. Speed was pretty good. Speed isn't too bad. He's got the combat and the speed and the agility. Which is the same that Baden has. They're identical, except he's a Duskling. Alright. Next up, or finally for heroes, is Eldred. Eldred gets 1d100 equals. Here we go. Eldred rolls an 83. There we go. That's something. 83 is combat skill increase. Nice. Nice. So he gets +1 combat. Puts him at a 1. He was at 0. He's at a +1 combat. Good, he's got a bow. Bow and +1 combat. Nice. That was it for hero increases. Now we go to Flash of Insight. That will be first. What was his name? This guy better become a hero. Chester Cook, man, he better become a hero. That guy did his job. I believe he knocked out one guy with an arrow and then another guy in melee, and he's just a lowly follower. Cook. Alright, so Flash of Insight is a D100. That will be an 86 or better, and he'll become a hero. Come on, Chester Cook, you earned it. You earned it. Nope, 37. 37 is nothing gained. Oops. 37 is nothing gained. Okay. And then there was Leon Spencer. Leon Spencer, I think, knocked out 2 guys with bow shots as well. He didn't get into melee, but he did knock out 2 guys with the bow shots as well. I mean, I dropped, 13 lizard folk? There was only 7 of us. So most of us dropped out. I think everybody dropped 1. Except for the wizard. The wizard didn't drop 1. Somebody dropped 3. Somebody would have had to drop 3. Might have been bad, and I don't remember. Anyways, we crushed it this time, that's for sure. That was like an old school AD&D dungeon crawl, and we just crushed it. 1 room at a time. Alright, Flash of Insight, Leon Spencer. It's nothing. 27, nothing gained. Alright, that is that. Come on with the break in the pencil lead. Nothing gained. Alright, moving on to the next step in post-battle. Is check for advancement, roll for loot. If you have achieved your objectives, you may roll once on the loot table to obtain loot. Some events may grant you additional loot. You may take any loot, even if you would make... okay. Alright, we held the field, so we're going to roll Unusual Find as well. So first we'll roll our loot. We get 1 loot roll. Loot equals 1d100 equals... I get a loot roll. Page 96. What do we find? Got an 87, which is consumables. And we got a 58, which is rations. Oh, 58. Rations times 2. With the pencil breaking. Rations times 2. Roll that, underline that, I mean. Okay, and then we also, unusual finds, we did hold the field. Let's go to that table. Let's read it so I know what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so, unusual finds. It was a sight battle. There's different tables for the different battles. We'll find equals 1d100. It's pretty much going to be something. There's lots of interesting stuff here. So it is a sight battle. Yeah, I'm tired. We got a 97. That is Grateful Volunteer. What is that? Add a loyal follower to your warband. They have a light weapon and no other equipment. Nice. Grateful Volunteer. So I gotta come up with a name for another follower. We're gonna give him a short bow for sure. Self bow. Alright, we'll come up with that later. So, +1 loyal follower. Okay, so that's what we found on the site, so we probably just basically freed somebody. Yeah, that's how it reads. Oh, he also has +1 light weapon. Cool. Nice. We got 8. There's 8 guys in our group now. That's awesome. Alright. And then, from there we go to, in the same map area. So we're not near a camp, so we got a camp. So settle in. It's camping. We're pretty close to Wessenhurst, though. Settle in. I mean, it doesn't matter, but equals camp. We can't visit the healer. So I hope we don't get attacked on our way back to town. I think we can always rest in camp. I don't know. Settling in, camping. Next is news, I believe. Where is it? Yep, last one is news travels. News travels equals 1d100. Alright, what's our news travels roll? Got a 62. That gives us... Oh, the Rangers have been scouting the area. Add +2 adventure points. I'm not writing that whole thing down. I'm just going to write +2 adventure points. And I'll write it in parentheses. Just so I can add the narrative easier. Okay. Nice. We've got some adventure points, finally. Which we're going to use them right away. Alright, what's next? That's it. That's everything. News travels. That's it. We've set up camp. We've leveled up. Done all advancements. We've rolled all loot. I have to research that magical item to make sure I can use it. I don't know if I can use it. That's it. So let's just write our loot gained from the mission. Gained during battle. Should have wrote this first. During battle. Equals. So we've got full armor. We've got torches ×2. We've got these tools. We've got map making kit. Underline this. Map making kit, and we've got a coil of rope. Oh, and then we got that crazy. So coil, not goil, coil. Coil of rope. And we have enchanted jewelry, gentle illumination. And I need to see if that can be used every game or if it's just a one-time use. Gentle. Learn to spell. Gentle illumination. Okay. That's it. That's what we gathered. So, including some stuff from the new guy who just showed up, we have managed to gather in this mission. What do we got here? We've got 3 rations, a light weapon, 2 adventure points, full armor, 2 torches, thieves' tools, map making kit, coil of rope, and enchanted jewelry, gentle illumination. Woohoo! Woohoo! We're gonna sell some stuff. We need money, but damn, is that nice. Baden only got injured for 2 campaign turns, and we're definitely gonna ride those out. I might have to play the campaign turns another day. It's already 12:44, so I might have to do the campaign turns tomorrow. I'll do a quick stream tomorrow while I do the campaign turns. This was almost a 4-hour stream. Damn. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the campaign turns tomorrow. So first I gotta write here. So we camp on what was the date of the battle? Where is the date of the battle? 12th of Droxy we camp, so it's the 13th of Droxy, the next day. So campaign turn. What is this? 6? 5. Campaign turn 5. And that will be 13th of Droxy. 13th of Droxy. 1161, and that will be Prayas. Know that day. Prayas. We are 2 days from winter. Winter starts on the 16th. We're 3 days. So I think the next... I'm going to have to make a snowboard. A snow battlefield for the next mission. If it's above the ground. Prayas. Let's see here. Then I write where the warband starts, yes? Yes. Warband starts in the Riodan. There's the map. We are in the Riodan. And that quest location is gone. In the Riodan. It's technically Riodan Plains, but it just sounds cooler as the Riodan. Start in the Riodan, and then all of our threats are the same. Well, we got 2 adventure points. We're probably going to use them for something. Ruins 5, Curse 5. We haven't touched our threats yet, but we're 1 step into a quest, which is good. We failed to do a contract. Alright. That's the start of the campaign turn 5. I will play that out tomorrow night. Probably take, I don't know, 30 minutes, hour tops. I doubt an hour though. So I'll play out the campaign turns up to where we go to our next battle, and then I'll determine all the, what I need to know for that battle, and then I'll be able to paint it, or print it and paint it. Alright, so that's it for the night. That was a long one. So thanks for everybody who showed up. We did have 5 viewers at one point. So we had some cool, some new guys showed up. At least two new viewers showed up. So thanks for everybody who showed up. Big thanks to Copper Frog for interacting with me. Appreciate it. And I'll check out your YouTube channel. And that's it. We're going to call it here, and I'll be back tomorrow night just to do the campaign turns. It's too late for me to do them tonight. Alright, see you later.